agree with this, because I disagree with this, and it's an open discussion. And that's what the pro and con is, and I think the problem is you have to get the pro and con down to 200 points.
So, could I make a motion that we extend this meeting by 15?
Why don't you?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Rick. All opposed? Thank you. Okay, the answer is what?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, say it loud.
Ann Block stated that we've had $500,000 in litigation fees.
Where'd you
Okay.
read that?
Pardon?
Where'd you read that
That
at?
was on her, Goldbar reporter. I was stunned.
I don't, it's, I think it's a little high. Over the last 3 years,
I thought it was like 3 something.
yeah, I think it's 3 something, but 350.
Excuse me,
Yes,
don't do that, Joe.
Don't do what?
It's way over 400,000 that I know about. It hasn't been 3 years, it's been 4 years.
Yes,
The
it is.
second meeting we had when we went on the city council was right out there at the counter, and it was on litigation.
okay.
Now, I don't want this, I don't want to hear it again.
You don't want to hear what?
I don't want to hear 3 years, I don't want to hear 300,000.
Yes, sir.
We're over 450, and we're over 4 years.
Okay, I'd have to go back and look at my,
You don't have to go back and look.
okay, thank you.
So that's a better number, I think, for everybody. If that's where we're at, $450,000 in 4 years of litigation.
Well, that also includes the paralegal cost to process.
public
the-
records.
For public records.
Correct.
But
You
essentially,
can't
legal
subtract
fees.
them from the total. The only reason she was here, and the only reason the paralegals are here, is because of the litigation.
Yeah, but we spent $65,000 a year on the paralegal processing public record requests. We don't spend that money anymore.
I understand you're trying to sneak it out of there, but it's there. If we weren't in the litigation, we wouldn't have the paralegal.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
I'll argue with your tense selection later. Okay, where were we on this? Ken, were you, who's next?
I think Mr. Bush had it.
Yes.
I had one other question. Is there any insurance available to a city or municipality like our doctors?
No, we have liability insurance, and the carrier intentionally does not cover public records. I think there's some talk, in fact, there's 2 liability carriers, one for big cities, one for small cities. And I understand the carrier for the big cities has entertained some public record lawsuit work, but I don't know that they've actually will have come up with anything. But we use the Association of Washington Cities and use their liability program, and they very specifically do not cover anything having to do with public records.
Okay. Well, now, and then I'm a little unclear on this, like this 450,000. Is that, are you just talking about legal fees or liabilities if we lose the lawsuits?
No,
That's what we paid.
That's what
That's
we paid
legal
so
fees.
far.
Okay, so maybe the levy should be looked at in at least 2 categories, one to cover legal fees and one to cover our losses if we lose the cases.
Yeah, that's the 2 aspects of it. And I can probably, when I do the,
And do we have, well, do we know what the liability could be if we lost the cases?
no,
You don't have a number on there?
I pull a number out of the air, nobody seems to know. It's all over the place. I've seen people have lost fairly simple cases. I think the state got hit for $600,000 the last one.
I mean, they aren't asking, there's no number of damages they're asking for.
No, damages are probably sanely controlled. It's the reasonable attorney expenses for the plaintiff.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, those two categories, your legal expenses for your attorneys, your paralegals, and what have you, to get us through this.
Yep.
Now, let's say we lose. The case, we have to pay,
Their attorney, is reasonable legal expenses.
Right, so there's,
well, there's gotta be some dollars, or the people are suing for something.
well, yeah, there's a penalty, is what he's saying, and then there's the added expense of their legal fees.
Yeah, their legal fees, we got our legal fees, and if we lose their, we have to pay their legal fees.
Yeah.
What are they suing for? I don't know what the lawsuit's all about.
Well, I mean, real quick, we've got 2 appeals, we've got a block lawsuit, number
Okay.
2.
Wait a second, let me.
We've gone to court on a few of these already and the city's prevailed. So it's not like there's 5 or 6 or 7 different lawsuits out there that are open. A couple of them have been appealed. Go ahead,
Yeah,
if you
there's,
wanna.
I did this about council meeting before last, and let me see if I can find it right back. We're taking a diversion. When did I do that? It was council meeting, excuse me for a moment. I don't have it, I don't have it directly in front of me, but I did a summary of where we stood on,
Would it be on the website on last council
no,
meeting's agenda?
I don't know. Here, litigation update. Okay, I did a lawsuit history, and let me just give you a count of what they are. Come on, open that one. Okay, we've had 1, 2, and I'm counting, tort claims, recalls, all together because they involve the attorney. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've had, well, one of those was Senior Wireless. They're suing everybody in Washington. But there have been 15 lawsuits that we've had legal expenses on, of which there are 2 that are actually active and not gone to trial yet. And one of them has been stayed pending the decision of the appellate court in the Forbes case. So that's what we're sitting against.
Yeah, so if I would run a rough order of magnitude again, if our fees are at $500,000, we can assume that the other side has a $500,000 bill for fees as well. So that puts us at $1 million already. And if a settlement's $600,000 or roughly $500,000, $1.5 million, you divide that by 1,500 homes, you're at $100,000 per home. That's where we're at.
And now, this $450,000 that we're in to legal fees right now, that's over the last 4 years?
4 years,
So we
yeah.
haven't had anything in the budgets, in the previous budgets to cover that?
No,
That's just
what we had was a reserve. We started out with close to $500,000 reserves 4 years ago. That's the money that, the starting fund balance we call it. And it's all gone. So that's why we have this very little money to start the year with. And it's, I mean, lots of cities get hit. I mean, I don't think I was really close to what you're talking about, but Lakewood, for example, settled for $185,000 on something, and for one person. Monroe paid out $150,000 for Chad Minnick's personal email address. And so there's the cities get hit all over like this, and so you just, I think we're in good shape with all the current lawsuits that have been initiated over the last year or so. But you can't tell. I mean, attorneys can't predict how the judges are going to rule.
Well, you know, like one right there, if you said like $1.5 million over 4 years, over 5 years, that's $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
If the city's maybe gonna have a legal liability, this is a number, pick a number.
Well, I'm trying to come up with a rational number, range of numbers, next council meeting, because I'll have the resolution. and I'll have the backup for it, and it'll be a resolution to start the process. Yes, ma'am?
But Joe, the number that Jade is talking about, that's already been paid.
That's already been paid.
Well,
So
that has
that's
been,
not, that's not a liability.
oh, I thought it was still due.
No,
No, it's
That's
been paid
paid.
out.
Okay,
so that's an expense that we have incurred, but it's not a liability.
anyway, we've been sitting here talking about it, and I'm still a little unclear about things. If you put up levy proposals, you need to make this crystal clear to the public.
Oh, yeah, that's what I try to do. That's why I put a bunch of stuff on the back end of the resolutions. So I will definitely like that, and the attorneys will be unappreciative of my efforts.
And I would still like to volunteer to help.
Is what?
I would still like to volunteer to help.
Okay. I gave my card, my cell phone number. Okay, so let's go through this again now. This is not doing it, this is starting the operation to do it. Now, entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
Well, let me ask another question. This is last ditch effort, right? I mean, nobody wants to disincorporate.
Between now and September, yeah,
Right, that's not a whole lot of time
that is
for
correct.
people to make their, decision based on facts,
That is correct.
okay? People can talk around town, but they don't know the facts.
That is-
So,
Well,
I'm saying
yeah, the
some,
problem, the
you know.
facts are in 27-page lawyer briefs.
right. I just think this is a dangerous way to go right
I
now.
think it's very premature.
Well,
It is,
it's
it's
a timeline,
Just look at the timeline. It's not premature to start the process.
and we have, if we approve this, because I'm with you, Chris, totally. But as Ken points out, we're not approving or agreeing about dissolution. We're just saying, let's put it on the ballot and leave it to the public, leave it.
So
We're
what
not
I'm
even
saying,
going that far.
no,
We're not even
that
going that
far. I'm
far.
saying, do the prep work to put it on the ballot.
Right.
And
But
then
that's-
July the 17th, we make the decision, but we make the decision on solid documentation and what we're doing as opposed to yakking about it first.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're putting two options on the ballot.
Yes.
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 And then the public gets a choice between which options.
That's correct. Either, both, or none.
Yeah, in fact, they both could pass.
Just the fact that the snowball's starting to roll down the hill, it's just not quite a snowman yet, right? And that's what I'm a little worried about that. I'm a little worried about it starting to roll. We'll wait and see what happens. So, discussion in the back, you wanna share?
No,
Oh, okay. We can hear you up here, that's all.
I will say
But I'd let you know.
that, as far as the city and myself, there's $500,000 on the opposing side is nowhere even close. I mean, really. I don't
Yeah.
owe
I
near
agree.
$500,000 to anybody. And I don't want money. I never did want money. I wanted records. I'm put that, I've said it over and over and over again. You had a chance to mediate with me, you chose the path that we're on right now. So,
But the judge made a decision also that you didn't agree with,
that's right,
so you appealed it.
that's right.
So maybe after the appeal and the decision comes out, we can move on.
Maybe.
Okay. But there's more possible litigation. So
Well, I think that a lot of
That
that
was
will
my-
have to do with
that's-
attitude, and right now your attitude isn't that great.
by asking you questions,
No, but by the way you're,
because I'm upset because our citizens are gonna be
I'm
penalized
upset.
for continued
I'm
litigation
upset
that
that
is
people are running
unnecessary.
all over the place saying all kinds of stuff about all kinds of people,
Okay, I'm done.
and, there wasn't ever any need to be where you're at with me. Ever. I never asked for any money.
All right.
So I'll make a motion that we accept resolution number 1205 as written.
I'll second it.
Now, excuse me for a moment. You don't have to vote yes. I mean, you vote what you think.
I know.
Okay,
I
good.
know. I don't have to vote with the majority,
That's
I
right.
know my voting.
Okay, so we have a motion, I think we have plenty of discussion. All those in favor of the resolution?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. And then, next time I will have one similar to this worked up with tons of details.
Okay. Now I'll make another motion that we close this meeting.
We've got the vouchers.
Oh, that's
ready.
vouchers.
So,
We'll need to extend this meeting then. I withdraw my motion to close the meeting and I'll make a motion to extend this meeting by 10 more minutes so that we can do the vouchers.
I'll second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got 10 more minutes. Let's pull up the minutes approval.
So I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes for Tuesday, November 1st, 2011.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Ken, you're
Yeah.
on.
Okay. I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the payroll vouchers 5125 through 5129 for a total of $4,300, and the 2012 vouchers, numbers 17293 through 17322, for a total of $17,029.74, being a grand total of $21,329.74.
Yes, I'll second that.
Any discussion, questions, commentary? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, so we've taken care of that, and we've got time left, if I can find the cursor. And so it's time for citizen comments. To come up if you wish. As you notice, it sort of looks like we're in a town hall meeting more than a formal city, Seattle city council meeting, but I think it fits better with what we do. Just hope that this little sucker captures all of the conversation. It has been working so far. Okay, any final citizen comments?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what is going on with or without a planning commission or its replacement?
Right now, the resolution says if something comes up, the city council, handles the job of the planning commission. That's done by resolution. We have not had any, volunteers or anything else. We got no.
Have we seeked one out? It seems like we're putting an awful lot of responsibility on this council for dealing with planning, dealing with zoning, dealing with waivers and variances. We had a planning commission, we lost one party, we need to replace one party, we can have that commission back. We were supposed to be replaced, with a person. Obviously, the city does not have that money. No, I'm talking about a planning person.
A planning person?
Instead, there's two ways to do planning. You can do one by a council or one by a.
Hearing examiner.
A hearing
Yes, okay.
examiner.
It's on the list of things to do.
Okay, so why can't we just get a notice out there? Come on, anybody in here willing to take on a position? We desperately need one more body on the planning commission. And we can take that responsibility off of you.
Why don't we post?
A note on our water bill, one more person. One more person, we need one more. You want it? Come on, be a part of the
I
planning
don't think it's a
commission.
good idea for me to do it right now.
I know, how about you?
If I didn't have a
you
lawsuit
can.
with the city, I'd do it right in there.
Pardon? We need one body, and we can fill this council of that responsibility. And you guys have got enough on your plate. And we had a really good gal who was working with us. She was a real planning commissioner. Okay?
Thank you.
Nothing can be done. We just have to find a body.
That's what it comes down to. Any other comments? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second? I'll second. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
And that's what happened.